Good morning, this is Minister Paul. I live in Northern California. I'm a watchman on the wall. It's 8:29 a.m., 10/21/2014. I'll put a link to Ezekiel 33. Thank you for all the new subscribers and my friends. And it's 10/21/2014. There's the time and date. I'll put a link to what a watchman on the wall is. So you can read about it, or you can just go to Google and put in Watchman on the Wall. That's what I've been called to do. So I've been disconnected from the internet for the last couple of days and just basically laying low, listening, watching, praying, drawing closer to the Lord in these last days. I had a dream last night that was very specific in nature that I want to share with everybody and ask others to begin to prepare, because it's been very peaceful, but for those that are in the kingdom. But for those that are not in the kingdom, they're under a planned false peace. Now let me continue with this dream here. It's myself and my wife and a friend. My friend is not saved. In other words, he hasn't accepted Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior and been born again. And the three of us are traveling northbound on 70 towards home. As you can see here, I've brought up a visual to help you. We're roughly right in this area. See if I can go down here. Here's 70. I'll go a little closer. We're traveling up here. It's from Sacramento. It's a very long, drawn out. I like to use visuals. It's a very long, drawn out stretch of. See, here's Sacramento, and 5 turns into 99, turns into 70. And then from there, it's just a very long, drawn out stretch of rural country, about 30 minutes. To home. Here's where my father lives, right here, Gridley. Okay, so that's 99 and 70. They're parallel, and we're running north. So we're traveling this road of long country, and there's these exits. Here's a waterways right here. I just forgot about. Some people call this the Three River area because there's like 3 rivers: Yuba River, Bear River, Feather River, etc. So do you see on these side streets, turnoffs, there's here's an example of one, and we're continuing and okay, so this is like one of those right-away systems. Park and ride, they call it, okay. Plumas Lake Park and Ride, okay. So there's these turnoffs all the way in. As we're getting closer and closer to home, we notice that there's military vehicles. I'll say like a Jeep with the .50 caliber on top. And at first we didn't think nothing of it, it's just like, that's kind of odd. Something must be happening. And they had orange cones out, and they were posted up on both sides, and they'd closed this off. So the only way to go was north. You couldn't go east, you couldn't go west. And not all of them were like Jeeps with .50 calibers. There was a whole bunch of different variety of vehicles that I'm going to show you visually. And on the third one that we came to, it really alarmed us. I told my wife, I said, I think this is some type of a drill right here at home. The fact that it hit so close to home had alarmed me. And actually, in prayer over this before making this video, that's what the Lord told me. It's hitting close to home. He didn't say it's gonna hit close to home. He said it's hitting close to home. In other words, in progress. And I just want to share that with you. It's hitting close to home. And he also said to me, and not audibly from the sky, but placed it in my heart and mind, to say that while his children are under peace right now, his peace, The world is under false peace. And this will become very clear at the end of this dream. So we come up to a point where it's just exactly like this. This is closed off by military vehicles, Humvees, etc. We've seen 2 Humvees on this side. Matter of fact, if you turn west right here or left, you'd be heading towards my home. And this is closed off, military vehicles. And they're all wearing these tan, like light brownish, flesh tone masks underneath their helmets from their, in other words, like exposure things from, like it covered their neck all the way over their face and around, like full headgear. Okay? Like, and the first thing I thought of was like chemical exposure. But I don't necessarily, after praying this morning, think it was chemical exposure. I think it could have been a lot of things. First thing I began to think of is radiation, diseases. It could have been a lot of things. But whatever it is, they were in control. That's the part that was clear. So, and here's where it gets odd. You have military vehicles all along 70 to where you can't go east and west. You're just forced to go north. And the areas are coned off. And they're military. Well, right here, sitting right here in this area, is a white civilian truck. It's a civilian truck, but the guy in it is in the same thing. Now, he's like a lieutenant. And he's in an unmarked, plain white vehicle. And he's got the same anti-exposure flesh tone head thing underneath all his military gear and helmet. He commences to come forward just like this, and he comes right in front of us to cut us off, right? Like right around here. And it's just like I'm like, we don't have to stop for him. That's how I felt in my mind, my mindset. We don't have to stop from him. 7:37 when I said that. And I looked at him, and he was serious business. And there's 2 Humvees over here. And so we commenced to, I told my wife, just evade him. We don't have to stop for him. And so we commence to go around him, and we go through these 2 Humvees here. There's actually like a path up here where you can get around them on both sides. We drive this every day, and here's another waterway. And then we go north up here on River Oaks, and we and they're all see how all this is kind of country rural. And we go by this. I'll go up to Rio del Oro. I'll show you where it really got weird. Well, the whole thing was weird, but be faster if it's schools again, folks. And I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't think I was supposed to. So we go up here, and we turn on Zane's, and we come in right here. And this is where I've been seeing a lot of things in my backyard. It's been like this since we moved here in 2005. They still haven't built on it. So now we're coming south to go home. And as we go past this school, it's Rio del Oro. I keep dreaming about this school. There's all sorts of military vehicles on this parking lot. School is closed. This is all empty. This is the school, as you can see. And there's all these military vehicles here as we're heading towards home. And this is the street I live on, right? This is my house with the pool in the backyard. Now, let me give you an example of the vehicles that had been moved onto this school hardtop. I brought them up. There was Humvees, some of them green and some of them tan, like this. And then there was mine-resistant vehicles, huge. There was earth movers, and they were yellow and tan, 2 different colors. And then there was UN vehicles, and the only way I know this was after prayer. And let me go further here. See this drone right here? One of these odd-looking, bizarre things was actually over our house. That looks like NASA right there. I know the NASA logo very well. So we come past all these things. Now we're beginning to be alarmed. Like, let's boot scoot boogie home. And as we're getting ready to reach our home, we're right around in this area. It's a big soccer field. This lieutenant in the white civilian truck, he comes up and he pulls us over, and it's a full military stop. And what I'd been doing the whole way was film everything. I told my wife, I'm going to start filming this. She was driving. I was sitting in the passenger seat. Our friend was in behind. I'm filming all this. I'm thinking, this info has to be shared. It's right in our backyard. And as the Lord told me this morning, it's hitting close to home. He gets out of his vehicle. We pull over because at this point we just feel like, he could just like shoot us dead. He's serious business. And so he walks up to us and he began to accuse my wife of breaching security and evading and all these other things, attempting to hit him, which was a lie. He attempted to hit us. And he was citing these military codes and their laws and really drilling my wife. And this drone right here is flying over us, like tracking us. It's crazy, man. Right? I mean, real low. And what other? There was these yellow symbols. I looked this up. It says it's some type of a fleur-de-lis in Europe. I wanted to put this in here. And then I put in who wears, this is what I need your help with. I put in who wears yellow military vehicles because they were mixed in with United States military vehicles. Can anybody tell me, this says Royal Hats. Can anybody tell me who this did not wear a military uniform and therefore was without a hat? Queen Maxima made up for this with the super bright yellow. Does anybody know what country Queen Maxima is for? I'm going to Google it, but I'm asking for your help on this because somehow the country that she's from is part of this dream. And so he after, reading my wife the riot act, I stepped in front of him. I said, hey, sir, and I did it with respect and stuff. And I said, do you have police powers right now? I said, the only time I understand that you have police arrest powers to follow us and track us down, and he wanted the cell phone with the video on it, I said, is under martial law. And I said, is there something I'm missing here? And back off my wife, And then I said, I mean, you don't have any powers aside from martial law when it comes to us driving home. We're not under martial law, are we? And this was his stunning answer. He said, he mentioned our county, and he said, this is a big county, and there's a lot to watch, because it is a big county here. And he said, we have a lot more power than you know. And so then I began to kind of make friends with him, like, look, we don't want to get, arrested or whatever. And I asked him about these military vehicles, and I asked him, well, how long are they going to stay there? And I remember him saying, not long. And that's when I saw the drone had been following us. And he began to be pretty friendly with my wife and I for some reason, because I was, getting him the answers he wanted to hear. And I was asking him what right did he have to try to hit us. And his demeanor kind of changed. But peace came upon my wife and I. But my friend, he freaked out. He said, is this really happening in our own backyard? And my friend, he just suddenly awoke into the fact that this is right here where we live. And he said, if this is all happening, that means everything's going to happen. And then I woke up. thoughts on this, let me know. Comment